Welcome back, everyone. For 41 years, the local art scene has been honoring their boldest and brightest. The tradition continues when the Cultural Council of Greater Jacksonville presents their 41st Annual Arts Awards early next month. The Cultural Council is recognizing 6 local visionaries who are keeping the arts alive in Jacksonville. And joining us with more about the event and this year's well-deserving recipients, we welcome Ryan Ali, Director of the Cultural Council and leading advocate of the arts right here in town, Alicia Summers. Welcome.
Hey, how are you guys?
So excited to have you guys.
Thank you for having us.
So tell us a little bit about what the Cultural Council does
Absolutely.
for Jacksonville.
Yeah, so the Cultural Council grants out to 25 organizations through our Cultural Service Grant Program. We also install, maintain, and manage 93 pieces of public art. About 34 were actually installed last week. And then we also work on artist development, artist grant opportunities, and with the local sector.
Wait, 34 new pieces added.
34 new pieces added last week alone.
And the whole public art movement, talk a little bit about that, because the arts community here is just exploding.
Absolutely.
It's so vibrant, it's so exciting, everything that's happening, all this new talent's emerging.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Just what arts brings to our community overall is just amazing. So the new pieces that we're talking about, if you walk along Hogan and Bay Street and you see, all of a sudden you're walking, this art just explodes from the ground up, and it just is everywhere, and it's open to the public, it's accessible. That's what's important about arts too, is keeping it open and accessible, but just the diversity that it brings to our city's landscape is very exciting.
Wait, so the pillars underneath the
yes,
skyway,
the skyway columns.
I've seen those.
So what Alicia's referring to is the DIA Urban Arts Project, and it's 34 pieces. So it's skyway walls, it's sculptures, it's murals. It's going to be rolled out in 3 different phases. So this is just the first.
Yeah. Where is that?
That's not in our city, but that is not in our city either. Nope, not in our city either. But
all over the world you see these amazing
it's incredible.
pieces
This
of
is really
art.
showing the importance of public art. So like when you go to a city and you see that particular piece of art, you know exactly what that is. Look at the the bean or the cloud in Chicago, for example.
And art, and the whole idea of public art is it's about the art, but it's more than that. Putting it out for the whole public to enjoy.
It's about the community.
It's about community, isn't it?
It's 100% about community. You can speak a little more to that.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say, what arts brings to our community, besides job creation, productivity, economic growth, it changes the quality of life that we have in this city. Imagine the city without the symphony. Imagine the city without the Museum of Contemporary Art. It would just be dull, boring, drab. There's so many arts organizations that are popping up in our community, and our local artists are on fire. And that's who we're going to honor.
Absolutely.
On May 6th is the local artists that make a contribution, and the philanthropists that also support their efforts to bring that art to our community. So it's just very exciting to see how we continue to grow and gain momentum in our arts community. When somebody says, well, why don't we have that? There is somebody that says, well, let's create it and let's make it happen. And that's what I think happens every day in our arts community and in the city as a whole.
It's about a $2.4 billion economic sector. 24,000 jobs just in Jacksonville, the greater city alone. So it's a really big impact that we're making.
It really is.
But,
small investment, big return.
Absolutely, small investment, big return. And then we're all celebrating the Arts Awards on May 6th at the Glass Factory.
Which is kind of a new, that venue itself, kind of the history. Tell us about it.
I looked at that venue about a year ago. I think I took Alicia over there. I was like, let's do the event here. So one year we did it on the rooftop of a parking garage. The next year we did it actually at the Marble Bank building. Then we did at TPC Sawgrass. We really wanted to create something that was unique. Every year this event surprises people. It's I don't want to say that. It's the party
of the year.
Okay, it's the party of the year.
I'm just going to tell you.
So just saying.
You just don't know what you're going to see. From the dancers that suddenly appear, or the students that suddenly burst out in song, to an art car that appears. I mean, you just don't know what to expect.
It's dazzling.
It's dazzling.
It's great, yeah.
It's dazzling. And it's like, wow. These are all people who live and work in our city that make our community vibrant.
And I think that's the best part.
Yes, the Glass Factory was built in 1936. It's actually right next to Engine 15. Very historic building. We wanted to bring it back to the urban core, have a little more of an urban vibe. Melissa Ross is actually going to be co-hosting with Darnell Smith, which we're thrilled about.
I'm excited.
Did you get your dress yet?
Not yet, but I think you and I are going to go
We
dress
are.
shopping,
We're
aren't
gonna
we?
go, We're going to go dress shopping.
Yes.
We're going to let's
Make sure
Facebook
you
Live
post it
that,
online.
actually.
Post it online with the wear.
We're gonna Facebook Live that entire thing so all of you can participate.
Ryan even said we can even like put lights in it so it lights up.
Yes.
And we can
Right?
do all this. Yeah, like
I
you
love
look
like Lady Gaga.
That is the idea for this event. Like it's over the top, just mind blowing.
No, we should just put you in the meat dress. The Lady Gaga meat dress.
Someone's
Hard
already wearing
pass.
that this year.
Hard
Someone's
pass.
already wearing that. So.
But it's
Hard
creative
pass.
black tie. So I have seen artists paint their dresses. Taylo came a couple years ago, and she had bought and
Her dress was
upcycled. It was
incredible.
incredible. She upcycled a
Yeah.
wedding
Her-
dress. and
Actually, her wedding
painted gold.
dress,
Yep.
she
Oh,
fully
very
painted
cool.
her wedding dress.
Yeah, so I mean, you never know. And from a tie done out of paper and paper crafts and so forth. I mean, it's amazing just to see the guests and what they take on the word creative and show up with.
Sure.
We have 6 visionaries that are going to be honored this year. Let's
Absolutely.
talk about those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's up first? Let's see.
We've got Christopher Lazara, I think, is up first. on
Yeah,
the
so
list.
Chris Lazar is going to be receiving the Robert Arlie White Award for Advocacy. So if you've ever gone to Jack's Beach and you've seen this great lot on Main Street, he came across this lot and decided, hey, how great would it be to actually have a sculpture park? He's doing that. He's doing a lot of other things over at UNF. He's an incredible visionary. He's very young, so we're going to see a lot out of him coming for the next few years. We're really excited to honor him.
And we'll also Mark McCombs, who we've actually had on the chat.
Absolutely,
Nice
yeah.
friend of the chat.
He's great.
I think Mark does a great job of STEM and STEAM.
Yes.
You know, getting
Art and science.
Art and science.
Because we know when kids have access to art that their math skills are stronger, their engineering skills are stronger, and Mark has shown that art definitely has a place when it comes to engineering.
Robotics and all of that.
Yeah.
He's such a visionary.
He is. He's
Yeah.
awesome.
And tell us about Dustin Harewood.
Yeah, what I-
Dustin's unbelievable. He's great. He is not only a visual artist, one of the most talented visual artists in Jacksonville, he's also an educator at FSCJ, and he teaches, and I have the opportunity to interview some of his students. Such great, profound change, transformational change, really, in what he does.
And Ebony Payne English is someone that we've had on the chat. The most emotional,
Love her.
amazing moment we've ever had.
She's great.
Yep.
She is fantastic as emerging artist this year. So just finished up on Purpose, done by Phase 8 Theater recently. This past weekend over at WJCT.
Yep.
We announced that she was an emerging artist before the show. I'm just going to let you know that before she was on the air. But she's incredible. Really great spoken word.
Yeah.
Ebony's words enrobe you. And the different characters that she showed, 9 different, usually you see Ebony as Ebony the poet and performing, but to see her as 9 women transform into them was amazing.
Yeah, she's
amazing.
fantastic. And then the last person you're
Talented.
honoring is Diane Brunette Garcia.
Wow. I mean,
Well,
can we, yeah. First of all,
wow. That
there's
was
not
just
enough,
wow down.
there's not enough time to really go through what all Diane has done to the community and what she means to the community. When you think of art and culture, when you think of theater, you mention Diane, what she's doing for artists who are getting paid to work. What is she doing, for the community? You're
she
not gonna
does
cry,
so
are
many
you?
things. I'm going to cry because she's amazing.
Yeah.
She has been honored recently as a woman of distinction from the Girl Scouts. But she's been a woman of distinction for a long time, and she does things that often go under the radar, like that you don't know that Diane has got her creative team working behind it, yet they're donating all this time and producing materials and words and visions that you look at and go, wow, that was amazing, and then you find out, wow, that's Diane and her team, and you didn't even know it before you saw it. She just what she gives to the community is just untouchable.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming. And I mean, this is to
Absolutely.
celebrate the arts, but this is also
Yep.
going back to the arts because proceeds will benefit the Cultural Council's Artist Grant Program,
Yep.
which is obviously
Right.
very important to the city.
We're excited about that. Tickets are where?
Culturalcouncil.org.
/
There it is.
Arts Awards, May 6th.
Melissa's doing her great job as the host. If you'd like to attend the 41st Annual Arts Awards, it is Saturday, May 6th at 7 p.m. at the historic, gorgeous Glass Factory. Our very own Melissa Ross will be hosting the night along with Florida Blue Market President Darnell Smith. For tickets and more information, visit culturalcouncil.org.